Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we're going to be giving you a follow-up on the iPhone 14 Plus. Now I've been using the iPhone 14 Plus since it launched. Was like 3 weeks, month or something like that, and we can get it. So I pre-ordered, it came in, and I've had it basically since it's been out. And the 14 Plus catches a lot of heat, but I got to tell you, this device is absolutely great, man. If you're a person who wants to get an iPhone, it's kind of like that Mac Mini situation. If you decide you want to get an iPhone, and the iPhone 13 Pros are really sliding out of the way now. You're not able to really get one in a lot of places. They're selling out everywhere. They were on sale for a little bit. As a matter of fact, T-Mobile had the iPhone 13 Pro Max terabyte for $10.50. I grabbed the Pro version of it though, for $9.50 for the terabyte, the smaller version, but the Pro. The 13 Pro Max is basically this phone minus a few features. Regardless of what you hear about this device, man, I'm physically using it. The number that's on here has been on here since I did my purchase of it. And it's just been a really good experience. I was looking at the cameras compared to the 13 Pro and Pro Max, because I do have a 13 Pro Max still. But the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max have the same camera setup ultimately. But the cameras on here have a couple of more features. And I think that kind of adds to the quality being better on the 14 Plus. It took me a long time to kind of come to that reality. I was sitting around and I said, man, I really like the 14 Plus. It's a phone now granted it's the bigger one, because I had the Sierra Blue 13 Pro Max originally, and I sold that and got this and kept the green 13 Pro Max, and then now I have the Sierra Blue 13 Pro as well. But if I were going to have something like this, I can confirm that the battery life on this device is absolutely phenomenal. Outside the cameras being better than the 13 Pro Max and the 13 Pro, and that's to be expected, right? When the company brings something out, they're not upgrading much at all anymore. They're just hitting the cameras, the battery, and performance. That seems to be it. They're not doing much at all with the devices anymore. And so I think if I was going to use a large iPhone, it probably would be this one over all the current iPhones. But if I was going to go with a recent iPhone that's a smaller variant, it would probably be the 14. The small version of this is probably the same as this. Now, if you have the 14 version of this, let me know what you think of it in the comments section. And because I didn't get that one, I was going to get it, but I just wanted to experience this one because we still got a 12 and 12 mini. So I wanted to see what this one was about in comparison to the 13 Pro Max. And this is actually the better device for me of the two, because the video quality and the photo taking is much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be that different with quality, but I went back and I read some of the specs on it and what Apple did to improve these, and it just looks better. Being able to shoot 4K cinematic video on here is absolutely great. I've done several follow-ups on this phone because it does catch a lot of heat because of the 13 Pro Max. And this is only because the internet keeps saying this. But I feel like this device, and for those that have it, or for those that know where this could fit in their life, if they didn't have an iPhone, or obviously if you have the 13 Pro Max, I have multiple, so that's the only reason. And plus, I'm a creator, so I wanted to check it out. And I'm actually really happy with this purchase. The only thing that I don't like is that I didn't know that I would like it this much, and I didn't know that I would use it every day, and I ended up getting just a 128 gig version. I would have gotten the 512 gig version if I'd have known I was going to like it this much, because I do get a nice discount on Apple products. So that's my only regret. I have no regrets on this particular iPhone. It is that good, folks. At least for me, it is. I'm not trying to convince anybody that this is better. And it's a shame that I have to keep saying that. It seems like every time I post a video of this device, I end up talking about the 13 Pro Max and how I'm not trying to convince people that this is the better choice. I've made several videos on why this might be better for a lot of people and where it fits and could fit into someone's life. But for me, having all the other phones too, yeah, I do have a different point of view because of all the phones I have, but I try to be as neutral as possible when I'm giving you my thoughts on a device. So this phone does catch a lot of heat, but I think for all the wrong reasons, because the cameras on here, period, are much better than the 13 Pro Max, because I've compared them. And I'm kind of shocked that a lot of people don't even talk about this. And it's not just the specs on paper, pardon the big dog in the other room barking, but it's not just the specs on paper, it's just the real world photos and video. And truth be told, I shoot a lot of videos with this sometimes, but lately I've been using the Z Fold 4 for a lot of content because that big camera, and I like to edit on that afterwards. My Sigma lens that I'm using now with my Sony setup, I kind of just leave this for the headshots now. But when I'm on the move and I want to show you a camera on a phone, obviously that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and show you the footage from the phone. But when I took this phone right here out on a stroll on one of my workouts with me, and I shot the daytime vlog with it, and I always tell you that people use iPhones, they use them in the daytime, but that footage, folks, is absolutely phenomenal. The footage coming from this phone is great. And then also in a setting like this where I can do, is the only light that's on technically for video is there's an LED light turned down to the very lowest setting, because the Sigma lens obviously can handle it, but that is where I shoot videos with that LED light because it's so powerful. Shout out to Will H Gadgets and More. He's the one that gave me the lighting system, and I absolutely love it. I appreciate him for that. But and because my LED lights that I had in here before, they were pretty much just all white. You couldn't adjust the tones, and so that helps with this. And with this phone right here, I need something to be able to adjust the color tones on it. That way I can get a truer, more real life video for you guys without doing any color grading after the fact. I do not like to edit and post as much as I can. I'm more of a one and done type cat, and that's the way I prefer to do it, because I don't want to sit in here and edit all day. Some people brag about editing for 5-6 hours. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to make it as easy on myself and give you the best quality footage with audio and video that I can. Eric always talks about he always talks about video quality with audio being very important, and I agree with that. And that's because I've come from a place where I started with phones, and the phones I was using at the time, my phones were better than my actual camera that I had. But with a phone like the iPhone 14 Plus, you're not just getting, it's not just about cameras, it's about the performance that you get from it. The battery life on it is phenomenal, and just my experience with it after having it all this time since launch, I still like it. And sometimes I get bored with phones, but I find myself using that phone a lot. And if I just had to choose one iPhone right now, it would probably be the 14 of them all. Not this one is nice. The 14 Plus is nice, but for size reasons, which is why I have a 13 Pro, because I can go to a smaller iPhone if I want to. I probably could have gotten away with the 14 Plus, the 14 and a 512, or the highest memory option. But the Plus is the newest iPhone to the family. That's why I wanted to check this one out. And it turns out I like it. It was not a catch and release because I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. The 13 Pro Max really was good. I shot video on that for almost a year on this channel. I was open about that because I was using headshots with my Sigma setup like this. And the iPhone 13 Pro Max was killer on battery. I mean, it just phenomenal. And this phone does not disappoint. See how well my Sigma focuses. There it is. Still great. This phone right here does not disappoint. Don't you like the way my lights in the back are? My nano leafs, they look cool. But this phone does not disappoint, folks. Shout out to Barry Johnson, Holla at your boy, Nano Leaf crew. But this phone does not disappoint at all. It is a phenomenal device for video. The performance is good. And also on the video and performance of the cameras, and I hate to keep harping on that, but this is what I use it for. Outside of just regular tasks or whatever, email, text, FaceTime, iMessage, all those things, the audio on this device is absolutely great. It is phenomenal. And so recently I posted online that the cameras on, or I just put on iPhone 14 Plus has better cameras than the 13 Pro Max and the 13 Pro. And it's true because I've tested them. I feel like it's true. You can disagree because you're going to name some things, but when you go to the spec sheet for the phones, you're going to see that the 14 Plus technically should have better cameras. And in fact, the quality, it shows it. So if you're a person, again, even at this point in the game, I know at the recording of this video, I know the S23 lineup is coming, but if we're being honest here, I mean, come on. I know that the S23 is going to be a great device, but we also know the support factor that you get when you buy an iPhone, and you're listening to somebody who's pro Android, really pro BlackBerry, but there are no BlackBerries right now. I'm talking about BlackBerry OS too. But you're You're talking to somebody who's pro Android. I am pro Android. Pixel 7 Pro right here in full throttle. Pixel 7 over there. Pixel 6a, Pixel 5a, Pixel 4a, Pixel, all of them. So when it comes to, being fair across the board, I think I try to be as neutral as possible. And the fact is, folks, this is a good phone. And those who feel like, those who feel like I'm trying to convince them of that, you're on the wrong channel. I hate to say it. You should kick rocks to another channel, because I would say I'm actually I'm not the best reviewer, but I try to use the products. This phone goes with me every day, and it goes with me with another Android devices. So people ask, why are you wearing two watches? Well, that's probably why, because I have a Pixel 7 Pro or a something Pixel over here to go with my Pixel Watch, and then my Apple Watch goes with that phone right there. Or my 13 Pro. So whatever mood I'm in, you know what I'm saying, this phone goes regardless. Now, if I do switch my main SIM card to my 13 Pro, I leave this phone at home. I don't need to. But I will tell you guys that if you're looking for just a real user review, I know that I do content creation. I know this, and I know I buy a lot of stuff. But I'm trying to be as realistic as possible by giving you these little follow-ups right here and just talking about the product and my experience. And today it just kind of hit me like, wow, these cameras are really, really solid. And so I'm going to take some photos now before I get out of here. And just show you. I just want to show you again just how I don't even really have to. The cameras on this freaking device are just stupid. They're just ridiculously good. I'm starting to see more and more people say, man, I really like this freaking phone. I'm so glad I went from the 11 whatever or the 12 whatever to the 14. Some people are even saying I went to the 13 to the 14. And like I said, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You don't have to do that. You don't have to, because I'm on the creators portion of it. There's more creator in me than there is just, average person. So, take that for what it is. But you don't have to always buy something because I'm telling you that it's pretty solid. You don't have to always buy it. You can just live vicariously through me. I do it all the time for other creators, especially my man Grant S. He buys everything that I probably want. Gigi has a couple of phones that I wanted, and I can get them, but I don't know. I don't know how I would balance that right now. Like when I bought the Huawei Mate 20X, I had to literally get rid of that phone because my view was so tainted and everything compared to that. And I gave that phone a perfect 10. The Huawei Mate 20X, in my eyes, probably still today is a perfect 10. And if I could get one, I would buy one. I actually bought some, but it turns out they were saying, oh, we're out of stock. We don't have it after all. So I had to wait to get a refund. That's happened to me maybe two or three times since I've had that, since I sold that phone. It's happened to me a couple of times. I really wanted to buy that phone again. And the sites kept scamming me out, man. They kept telling me, oh, they took my money, and then I couldn't get it again. So I'll say this for people who are on the fence for buying. If you think you want to buy the iPhone 14 Plus and you're still on the fence, the 13 Pro lineup is going away. It's literally not going to be here. There are going to be people that say you need to wait for the 15. Ignore these people. There is no 15. We're on the 14 right now, and we're on that's the lineup we're on. You know what I'm saying? So get in while you can. And now, obviously, we all know that when the next lineup comes out, these are going to drop down about $100. They do it every year. But this was the latest real change from Apple, and I wanted to experience it and show it to you. And that's what I've done since launch. I've been giving you small videos here and there. I took out this on a beautiful walk, one of my workouts with me, and I was pretty happy with the footage that came out. Check that video out. You want to see I got to remember to link it down below, but check that video out if you want to see what these cameras can do. They're phenomenal. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.